How's it going, my friends? So we're back, and I've been I had this essay written, but I've been focused on my Spanish content, and now I'm back, and I'll be doing my PUA English content, and I also do movie reviews in English. And don't worry, like more is coming. But anyway, let's just go at it. And results. What kind of results should you expect? And I'm just gonna read it, and then I'll break it down. The most frustrating part of the community is that most people don't have frankness, and this is a key word to talk about realistic results. You'll see that a lot of guys who are involved in this space, they're internet marketers, or they're very like shady people. They really want you to buy their products, and they're gonna use all these stats, all these fake stats, of course. And I feel it's only a minority. Most of them, they'll say something like along the lines of, I bought this product, I went out, I approached, and a lot of girls told me, whoa, you changed my day. Like, you really impressed me with your skills. I mean, this is completely false, and it's a marketing gimmick. And most of the time, none of that will happen. So the coaches are all about hyping big numbers to justify their products. And let's not forget, a lot of these coaches, teachers, are actually internet marketers. They're only in the space to make money. They don't care about results. They don't care about students. They're just trying to market their product to a wide audience. You guys have to be careful because some advice is very feel good. They'll make you feel good. They'll say it's all about who you are, like you're already the best, and all these ideas which are not true at all. And unfortunately, it's just how the space is. Like, there's not much we can do at this time when it comes to the PUA community. At the same time, to change the culture. Meanwhile, the students are all about ego. They only care about seeking validation from others to feel they're accomplished as opposed to actual results. And you run into this issue. On one hand, you have the coaches hyping you, selling you big ideas, big dreams, big success to sell their product. And on the other hand, you have the students who are all about competing against others, not showing weakness, showing they're tough, they're cool, they're accomplished, and that's why they're seeking validation from other people. I remember concretely there was one student who said, "Oh, I met this MILF and we hang out, and she like we went on a like trip. Like it was all a makeup story." I talked to that student later, and he told me he was just making it up. Like he just ran into some lady, she was nice, and then he created this fantasy in his head. So definitely, these guys like they're chasing after validation, and it's just like the girls, right? The girls are chasing validation on the apps. Well, the guys are chasing validation from other guys. It's similar to the guys who go to the gym and they start trying to get attention from other guys. It's not about results. That's why I advocate to just lay low and focus on results, focus on achieving, as opposed to trying to gain approval from many of these people. When in fact some of them are not going to cheer for you. Instead, they're gonna try to bring you down, and this is very common. Not only at coaches, but also the students who try to like make you feel like you're not as accomplished, so they can feel better about themselves. It's just like it's that negative sort of community in a way. That's why I feel the best way to approach this is to learn it on your own, find the resources, and just do it through trial and error. And I'm assuming you're average guy in looks, money, and status. You live in an English speaking city and you're absolute beginner. So let's continue, guys. And I know I've been on a tangent there, so I need to get straight to the point. Expect to get rejected a lot during your first few months. One thing that you'll notice is that unlike what people tell you online, about them turning their lives around and getting instant results. Pickup, if you're an average guy, is both difficult and painful. Imagine you walk up to a stranger and instead of her greeting you politely, she'll tell you, get lost. While this might be painful, you'll eventually get desensitized to this pain. Eventually, I write a whole series on the topic. However, the main idea is that she rejects your approach and not you as a person. Don't take it personally and move on. And I think some of the early writers, Lothrop, I think that's his name, or like he was saying that it's no big deal, get rejected. A lot of other guys as well, Mystery, and others as well, Matador, Tontorero, like all these guys just had this philosophy that it's no big deal. And this is a winning philosophy to have. And definitely, like, unlike what the marketers will tell you, most likely you'll get rejected. The girl won't thank you for your approach. Instead, she might even be weirded out, and then it'll be a painful process, but eventually you'll just get desensitized and it'll just improve. I feel this is what happens to most guys who start practicing their seduction skills. Expect a lot of flaky phone numbers. This fact will be frustrating at first, but imagine that instead of getting a girl's number, you get a fake number. Sometimes no amount of techniques can allow you from getting flaky numbers. And I remember I would even give the girl my phone, and even then she would give me a fake number. Or I would give her my phone, or the only time is when I wrote my number on her phone. But this is like a 50-50. Sometimes like she wouldn't want to do that. So and yeah, and be careful, guys, that a lot of guys who go through that first point, they get rejected and they get angry, and then they get a flake number, and after a few months of this, they just go into to a dark side, a dark rabbit hole, and they become a bit misogynistic, like all this like dark side of the community. And it's unfortunate, but I've seen it happen with acquaintances of mine. And the way to avoid this, and this is actually just conversations with many people like Todd and other people, like it's just like, don't take it personal. Like I said, it's just how the game is. Take it as a game. See pickup as a game and don't take it personally. It will be important to keep your sanity. It will be, and something that's actually a positive thing about the communities, the whole yoga and meditation, like it can definitely clear your mind, put you in a much better headspace. And I would strongly recommend it. If you're doing this, get into yoga, get into meditation, see it as a complete self-help package, not just focus on the field experience, but also on the private sphere, that you have your outlet of meditation. And now this is a fun part. So guys, give me one. My friends, let's continue. Expect to go on multiple instant dates that lead nowhere. This is the fun part. There'll be a point where you start going on a lot of instant dates. For instance, if you go to the park, you approach a girl, you point at a Jamba Juice and you tell her, hey, let's go grab a drink. Like OJ, orange juice. She says, sure, let's do it. You'll start experiencing those instant dates. And I would go and ask a girl to grab orange juice with me, and she'll say, sure. We'll walk together to a Jamba Juice, grab the drink. This started to happen even more frequently when I started to tell between local and tourist girls, and I'll make a whole series on that. But tourist girls always want to hang out, hence at some point you got fun. For example, I would spot a German girl. She's sitting at the park bench, and I would say, let's grab a drink and the Java Juice or the Starbucks, and she said sure. So I started getting the instant date experience, and it was a great experience, definitely. And I feel like at some point in your journey of the whole PUA, during your first year, you definitely have that experience. It's not that uncommon, so enjoy it, and it'll help you work on your social skills. Let's continue. And also, I like to add that you'll be surprised, because at first I was like, no way, like she just met me and she wants to grab OJ, orange juice or apple juice, and at first it was shocking, but then it just made sense. Just like when you approach someone, at first you're surprised they're so welcoming. It's that same way. So, point number 4. Expect to go on a date once a month after a few months of doing this. So at some point I was able to start getting that date 2 with a girl. I would meet them and have them meet me at a coffee or drink the day after. Some girls were polite to me and thanked me, while others I was able to continue the selection process. Again, now looking at my experiences, I would say I enjoyed hanging out with them. For instance, I remember getting a delicious pizza from a Mexican girl, with a Mexican girl. Sometimes nothing came out of the experience, however, it was a fun moment. Definitely. If you've been a bookworm, quote unquote, your whole life, then getting these reference experiences will make you more confident. And this is something I've been advocating for, guys, that it's not that it's just an empty process, but rather that it's you're making gains, but it's not what you're looking for. Like, it's not exactly you meet this girl, she's your girlfriend. It's more that you meet all these girls or all these people and you start making friends with them, and you start having these fun experiences. Like, while you also have all those negative experiences of rejection and stuff like that, you also have some fun experiences of just going to a coffee shop, meeting people, talking to them, and yeah, or going for pizza. It's all going to improve your social skills and your repertoire. I just like that word a lot. Of how to improve socially, and I just think it's a positive thing. So now that I'm writing this, I realize, yeah, it is definitely a process, but it's also you're making gains throughout that process, and you need to see it that way. The reason why some guys are not making gains is because they adopt a negative mindset and they just stick to that, and they just see things very negatively, and then they go online and post it, and like unconsciously they don't know this, but they've chosen a negative path. Or you can like do yoga, do meditation, then have these experiences that are positive, and now I see why people like you talk about outcome independence, and it makes sense in the context of learning. As you're learning, because eventually you're trying to reach an end goal, of like getting the girl and stuff, but like at the same time you're also learning. So definitely, especially if it's the first few months of doing this, all these concepts apply, of like not being as outcome dependent. But as you are doing this for a year, that's when you start. Oh, right now is the time to become much more into the outcome. So, alright, guys, expect at some point during your year to bring a girl home. I feel there will be a point where a girl likes you and will be open to coming to your place. This does not mean that you will get laid. Instead, it means that you have a chance to practice your sexual skills at home. One recommendation is to order delivery to your address, and this way you start getting comfortable with having a girl over at your place. And I feel like now that I'm seeing this, the first year should be all about gaining experience, reference experience, is becoming more comfortable with social skills. And definitely, if a girl comes over, just order sushi. It works. So if you live in an English-speaking big city, you're playing a game on hard mode. Something will become apparent in the next video. However, despite having the level of difficulty so high, there's still moves you can do, and I'll talk about it in the next video, guys. So see you. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Take care.